What's going on, everybody? Josh with Lebanon Ford Performance. We are live on multiple channels. We're on Performance Facebook, we're on Performance Instagram, and we're also live on Great Lakes Roush. I've got a couple guests with me. This is the first time I've had a couple additional seats here in the LFP garage. Normally it's just me. It's refreshing. I don't get to listen to myself talk as much tonight, so it's going to be a good time. So we're here with Steve Nardi from Roush Performance. As I mentioned, he is the regional manager for the Great Lakes Roush region. That encompasses a pretty fair amount of states, right?
It's a lot of states, yeah. Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa. We're all over. My region encompasses all that. So
some of the largest Roush dealerships in the country are in those states.
Yes.
So
which you guys happen to be one of them.
Which we do. Number 6 currently, based on the end of May. We're holding a good spot. Number 1 in parts that we just
Number
found
1
out.
in parts.
Yet again, number 1 in parts. Holding
right
it.
now, 6 months through the year almost. You guys are trending in that direction, which
We're gonna
I
carry
would
that to the end.
suspect that would hold through.
Looking forward to another trophy.
We don't give out mid-year awards, Josh, but you know, something to celebrate. Little
nibble at the
victories
end.
moving up.
We're coming.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
And we're also here joined by the infamous Tim Flanagan, who is our performance sales manager. So if you're unfamiliar, if you've never called in to Lebanon Ford, Tim and I work as a kind of two sides of a coin. Tim handles all the sales side of the business, working with our salespeople, and I handle all the logistics here in the shop, and obviously work with Hannah on the marketing side, and then get yelled at from Tim when the cars don't get done, which is a very rare occasion.
Yeah.
Very rare occasion. But no, Tim's been great. He's been with us for a few years, has really kind of bootstrapped the performance program since Frank Kudlak has moved on to be a sales manager, and it's been great. Been absolutely great. And we're on pace to have another record year, so good thing. So we usually kind of start these off by talking a little bit about what's going on at LFP. Obviously, this is going to be more Roush-centered focus tonight. We have a Roush Stage 3 behind us, one of our inventory units. But I'm going to let Tim talk about the year so far, what he's thought of the year, and then we'll take some questions after that.
So this year we've had I need to lean in.
A little bit. Do we need to move up, Hannah? Are we too far away? Oh, he's not mic'd. Yeah, so we need to. I'll lean
Speak
towards
up.
you. How about that?
All right. So I just want to kind of say hey to the folks out there. I know we have been extremely busy all year, continuing to do 20 cars a month on average. When you look at the spectrum of Mustangs that Ford sells, you've got 75,000 total units. Break that down into the 3,500 dealers. You're looking at about an average of 20 Mustangs. We do 11, almost 12 times that number every year. So it's been fun.
Yeah.
We continue to do that pace. Actually, we've had and I'm glad Steve's here to join us. We've had a lot more Roush this year. I think warranty playing a big part. But again, we've introduced some other power adders, some other components. I think the big exciting one right now is our Roush Express Lane. So it's been nice to be able to turn a car around more quickly.
Yeah.
I love it that these guys actually own their own manufacturing facility, not unlike ourselves, who we do all of our builds in-house. So if you need something, you can get it quick. That's kind of been a big hit for us.
Yeah, the Express Lane this year, and I think that's been awesome so far. The response we've gotten from it, how quick we can turn out a Roush supercharged Mustang. It just puts out a very well-produced car quickly and efficiently, and gets a very happy customer who is comfortable in what they bought. There's no uncertainty there when you buy a Roush product. You know what you're getting. You know the quality you're getting. You know how reliable it's going to be, and warranty carries with the car for 336, and that's extendable, obviously, which is great. Mm-hmm. The only aftermarket modification that I know of that you can actually extend a warranty on, being a Roush product, that's unlike anything else. Jason Hipp, do you have a question, sir?
I was just observing.
Our service director, the world famous Jason Hipp, who happens to be my father as well, is standing behind Hannah here, scrutinizing my attire, I believe.
I was wondering what that disapproving look
Yeah.
was about.
Me too.
I've grown up with that look many times, so I'm assuming that's what that is. He's disapproving of something that I'm wearing or saying. You want to come say hi?
You got it under control.
Okay. All right. Are we back?
Yeah, so why don't we go back into talking about the fast lane?
Okay. So about 60 days ago, I came to Tim with an idea, and I thought, wouldn't it be great if we could guarantee a Mustang ready to ship or deliver in 14 days? We had a lot of guys, customers in general, that just call and say, do you have any available on the lot? Obviously, the answer to that is no, because you can't pre-supercharge a vehicle. Only a company that has purchased that right, such as Roush Performance, like on their stage threes, that can modify the emissions pre-title, can do that, which obviously at the dealership level, we don't have that ability. So everything that we make is built to order, as we've mentioned many, many times before. But I thought, wouldn't it be great if we could accelerate that and capture a bit of the impulse that, well, I don't want to wait 6 weeks for a car. I want it now. How do I get it now? Then that's kind of how the Express Lane was born. It's more of just a logistics thing. If we can accelerate our logistics, we can get this vehicle done. And now, 14 business days or less, you can purchase an in-stock Mustang with a Roush supercharger, equipped, installed, ready to go, in 14 days or less. And that's how the Express Lane was put together. So you just pick a car out of our inventory, you automatically choose a Roush blower, you have the preset options that you can add: oil pump gears, half shafts, exhaust, suspension. Some of our bread and butter stuff that's one, easy to acquire, or already sitting on a shelf. You put your car together and it's ready to pick up. And we've had a few of those come and go already. Yep. So that's been great. And it's not just local people that get that. I think the first one, he was from.
Yeah, first one he drove up. He ordered it. We actually got it done in a week.
Yeah, we did paperwork on Monday and it was done and assembled, and he picked it up that same week.
Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
Flew into Cincinnati, picked him up, brought him here, and
our very first one,
around.
went from 14 days to 5 days. In 5 days, we're done.
Well, at the end of the day, car buying is still a emotional process. And when you start telling somebody, well, listen, I'll get you this car, even though we all know it's a project, there's some people that I want my speed and I want it now.
Yeah.
And we can provide that. It's a nominal fee.
It's a nominal fee, yeah.
I mean, I'll add to that. I mean, to kind of go off what both of you guys said on the having that Express Lane program here is pretty cool because of the fact that you can get that so quickly. And we're in a time of year where shops get busy and whatnot, but they've dedicated that ability to be able to complete vehicles with parts on them, because everyone wants it yesterday in the performance world. Because where we're at here in outside Cincinnati, we've obviously got a smaller window than some of you folks maybe in California, Florida, Texas, and places like that. So to be able to turn that around and not have to wait, and then you get a vehicle in October or whatever the case may be that's not going to go straight into storage is a pretty cool program that they were able to come up with here. And of course, you guys have been always really, really flexible from a parts standpoint in your shop. Of course, they have a few world-class techs here that just know our product, know the Ford product just inside and out, can install the stuff extremely efficiently, and they've done hundreds of them over your time being a Roush dealer since 2013, I believe. So
it's been that long now. It's been that long. And there's a reason that we chose Roush for that Express Lane. People have asked, can you do this with one of your other products? And we've said no, just for the reason that, one, it speaks volumes about Roush's product, because you guys, one, we're poised in a position that we can get product quickly from Livonia, about a 4-hour drive from here to Roush's front door. But you guys keep the regular inventory to be able to sustain your dealers, and that the product's going to come and it's going to be right. I'm not going to wait 6 weeks for a supercharger, and that's the only reason we can do it with Roush, is that we know we can get the product. No other manufacturer of our power adders can guarantee product, one, to be right, all the parts to be in the box 100% of the time, or two, in that time frame. So really, to turn around a fast car, Roush is the only answer, and it's the best answer. Hannah, we getting some questions? What can we answer?
I got a couple questions. One person asked if they could do a sleeper kit on a 2017.
Yes, they can. They do. They did retrofit a sleeper kit for a 17 Mustang. Yes, they did.
And then the other one was, which is better, coilovers or Magna Ride?
coilovers or Magneride. So it all comes down to application. If this is just, say, a street car, the Magneride is absolutely sufficient, in my opinion. And of course, they put the Magneride on the GT350, so there's a reason that they believe in that system. They're comparing it to a track-oriented suspension, but for an all-out road course car or drag car that's going to see regular track time, a set of coilovers is absolutely the way to go, in my opinion. I mean, I'm taking the Magneride off of my car, so not that I don't like it. It is nice, but I'm planning on putting a separate suspension on my car for show purposes, and it's just a street car anyway. So
I have a question for all three of you.
okay.
Which vehicle out of the Roush lineup of any year is your favorite?
Is that from you or
Oh,
somebody
man,
on
I
there?
already-
That's from you. Okay.
You can start.
Favorite Roush from any year lineup. Actually, I really enjoyed, even though we had that weird customer.
Oh, you're gonna say the
you
same
know
thing
what
I
I'm
am
gonna
then.
say?
Yeah.
The P51. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I was
The
gonna say.
P51, the 17 P51
2017.
was, in my opinion, probably the best looking Roush car that I've seen. Obviously, a
Awesome car.
Mustang, just great, very appealing car. A lot of carbon fiber in silver, which is just a color that is just really, I really appreciate on a Mustang in general. Supercharged 727 with a warranty. The interior was nice. It had that almost baseball leather, tobacco colored leather.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was one of my favorites, probably my favorite. Yeah.
My favorite as well. I love that car, and as soon as you asked that question,
It lily light bulb.
that's just popped in my
Right.
head. Josh said everything right. Like the carbon on that car, the uniqueness. We painted that vehicle. This is a homage to the P-51 World War II aircraft fighters, which leads me to another tidbit. Next month for the EAA Air Venture Show in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, which is the largest air show in the world, Ford is the platinum sponsor there, and we're actually doing the vehicle that will be auctioned off on Thursday night. I think it's July 26th, somewhere in that range, and that will be a similar type version to a P-51. I think there's a hashtag that we put out there. It's Old Crow Mustang.
I saw that.
Which will be the
I saw
Old
the
Crow. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal. I've seen some bits and pieces of it in pictures.
That should be cool.
And it'll be really cool. Personally, I hope that car goes for about $500,000, but who knows? The previous vehicles that have gone anywhere from, I think, the 3s to 4.25.
Wow.
In a lot of those vehicles, we've had stuff to do with them, but weren't technically the complete builder, if you will. So I'm really excited about that. We'll have a big piece in that, and I think that will be, you'll see some of that content through our Facebook page and social channels, as well as Ford Performance and Ford Motor Company as well, here in probably the next few weeks. So we're just wrapping up some bits and pieces to that. So.
That'd be cool. That's awesome.
But
That's
not
a
to
nice
get
show.
off track, so let's not leave Mr. Flanagan
What do you
out.
think, Tim?
What's your favorite Roush vehicle of all time?
I gotta go with the trucks.
The trucks.
Which one?
It doesn't. I don't have a specific one.
Okay.
I think the nice thing for me is just being able to see all of the different performance options, whether it's the active exhaust or the
Good point.
Fox 2.0 suspension, just included with the ability to pick and choose the wheels and tires. My wife still won't let me buy a Mustang, so she said I could buy one. I just couldn't bring it to her house.
Happy wife, happy life, as they say.
So pretty much any one of the trucks. I mean, the Nightmare is, just
That's a
over
sweet
the top,
truck.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You might have a
But-
story about that.
Oh, a couple stories about that. We just watched
to cut you off,
but-
the Nightmare commercial being shot by Aaron Kaufman and Jack Jr. That'll be coming out in future advertising
Anytime.
for Roush Performance. That was an exciting time. Filmed literally in a shut down paper mill, part of
Right here
Hamilton,
locally.
Ohio, right here locally, just not even 25 minutes from here. Very cool, and to see Aaron Kaufman come in and take the time to come in and shoot the video and work the commercial was pretty cool. He literally at the end of the night, like 1 o'clock in the morning, rips the burnout in the middle of an old paper mill and pulls the truck out, and it's just full of smoke. It was amazing. Very, very cool. So
Yeah, we're working on for the Nightmare truck. For those that aren't familiar, it's kind of our supercharged street truck, turnkey vehicle. We are trying to set the record for that as the fastest production street truck in the world. We did it back in, I think it was 17. I think it was 4.3 seconds, 0 to 60. And we're trying to get
truck.
4 or less on a crew cab vehicle. So that
In
should
a crew
be
cab.
in a crew
Crew
cab.
cab 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, honey.
Come on.
My next truck.
There you go. There's your new truck.
Love
I
it.
Just sold your wife for you.
I must
So-
say, the moment we started talking about the P51, Frank Kumac started watching.
Did he? Frank will have a good
Perfect.
story about that.
So, hi Frank.
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 Someone asked earlier if you could do any modifications to an 11 to 14 Mustang in regards to like superchargers.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, that's when we started the Roush brand. Not only the Roush brand, but our performance program. That was the Mustang that was available at the time. We started in the 13-14 realm, so
That's correct.
absolutely. Maybe not as much or the same stuff, but comparable stuff. You can do a less powerful supercharger, suspension, wheels, tires, the whole nine.
If you guys want to keep asking questions, Roush, Lebanon Ford Performance, anything and everything, we keep feeding them in. So,
Roush, Steve, what do you guys have coming new at Roush?
my
What can we
gosh.
look forward to the next 3 months, 6 months, years? I know you guys are developing new, not only products, but what vehicle programs that you're allowed to tell us about.
For sure. I mean, where do I start? I mean, I've been with Roush about 8.5 years, and when I first started, we literally only sold Mustangs.
Right.
That was it. That's our whole product lineup. So my dealers are trying to make that a feasible program, selling Mustangs in an environment literally where the Mustang season is pretty short in a lot of cases. Now we're on to trucks, which is expanded into, it's gonna, we're gonna touch some other segments that we aren't currently in. You guys can probably figure out what those would be. Ford's kind of doing away with some cars, with the exception of the Mustang in the future. So that will basically leave us with some SUVs, which we should see some of that stuff here in the future. Nothing to put quite on paper yet. We will have some items as well as a vehicle package for the Ranger for the U.S. market. There's some stuff that's out there. You can probably see we do have a Ranger. I believe it's in South Africa and the Australian markets, specific to their market, because they've had the platform a lot longer than the U.S. has. I believe it's called the Wild Track out there, not the Ranger. So pretty exciting time at Roush. We just came out with performance packs on F-150s for 3.5s and Raptors. High horsepower, high torque kits for less than $1,000.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about Roush is we're always kind of, inventing and pushing forward. We have, our engineering team is pretty phenomenal up in Michigan, and the only challenge is because we're a manufacturer, we have to test to the nth degree. So usually we're not going to be the first to market. Usually, quite frankly, we're not going to be the cheapest, but that's because of all the testing we do internally, but then some of the metrics that we have to hit from the government standpoint as well. For example, the Stage 3 behind us has Roush seats in it, which are not simply just a seat cover that are just reskinned over
Right.
the seat. They are, we rebuild the seat back up with some of the factory foam as well as our own. Well, we have to then calibrate the seat sensors as they're finished to make sure that they work in the event that a small child was in the front seat, and so the airbag doesn't deploy or whatever the case may be. We have 2 seat machines, one for Mustang, one for truck. Those are both $250,000 a piece.
Wow.
So that's just the level that we have to take things to be able to put product on the market, especially on the turnkey vehicle side, as if it came from Ford Motor Company. We have to meet the same emission standards and everything else, which is a big challenge, but that's what we've always done. Our first serialized vehicle was built back in 1995, so we've been at this for a while. It's challenging, but we've got a really good team. We've got the new supercharger that came out last year, and we're going to be adding more parts, more vehicle packages in the coming years as well, which I think you're going to see a bigger, broader, diversified Roush across the board, which is it's kind of crazy. It's 8 years seems like a long time, but it's almost like overnight for me. And to go from Mustang only to having F-150, Raptor, F-250, potentially Ranger and some other product lines as well is pretty cool to see.
I'm pretty excited for, and these it's somewhat rumor right now. You've not confirmed it, nor has anyone else, Roush, is that you guys will be engineering a potential supercharger for the 7.3 Super Duty, is what I've heard. It could be rumor mill, I don't know, but I think that would be. I mean, you guys tell me, the new 7.3 Godzilla engine. I mean, 2020 Super Duty with a supercharger on top. I think that would be pretty outstanding.
Sounds pretty cool. I have no idea where you heard that from, but no, that's definitely something that's on the table.
That would be neat.
The new Super Duty for 2020, the gas engine. It'll be interesting to see because right now our sales numbers are 99% diesel, as you can imagine. But the 7.3 is going to be a different animal. It's going to be a different buyer.
Yeah.
And if you have a supercharger matted to that, I don't have it's just going to be an absolute terror.
Well, one, imagine the sound of that engine being a pushrod motor, and then the torque that engine is capable of cramming all that air into it. I mean, that would be
it's going to be pretty cool.
To me, that would be comparable power to a 6.7 out of a gas engine. As far as towing and just overall horsepower and torque, that'd be a rowdy truck.
It'll be really awesome.
Yeah.
And then from the aesthetic standpoint, there will be some slight modifications to the Super Duty from us because Ford has a midlife cycle refresh in 20. So we'll have some of our own aesthetic touches, mainly lighting that will change, which will look more modernized, I think.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of an opportunity to sit down with our truck brand manager actually the day before we did the commercial down here.
Oh.
And he showed me some tidbits on that. So I think you guys will like it. It'll be a little bit more modern, a little bit more fresh, so to speak. But pretty cool. I love what we have now, but it's always nice to see a little bit of a progressive evolution in their product.
Yeah.
What about the phase 2?
Good question. So phase 2 for Mustang, still that should be out this summer. Don't have a horsepower to announce, so to speak, but that will be out this summer. Of course, we're trying to probably button up some loose ends on the engineering side and just the logistical side from the part numbers and
now
getting that stock procured.
Well,
sure.
I mean, everyone on the phone's been asking, when's phase 2 coming? Is there going to be a phase 3? Stuff like that. So I know that's going to be a huge hit. Phase 2 historically for us has been
It's where to go to.
It's an easy go-to.
727.
Yeah, 727
Right.
is what we built our
gen.
brand on. So I mean, the previous Gen 7, the phase 2. So I think that we'll be able to produce a lot of numbers out of that phase 2 kit. And now, correct me, and just because a lot of people when we do talk about Roush products, we talk about they always want to relate it to Ford products because Roush has so much engineering for Ford.
Sure.
Is Roush ever held back from releasing a product by Ford Motor Company, such as like the GT500's coming out? And obviously, let's say phase 2 is 775 or 750, somewhere around that. Let's say it's at the GT500 760. It's right in the middle. Does Ford ever say, "I need you to wait on releasing a product because we've got to drop ours first"? Does that ever happen?
You know what? It probably does, but that's not something I'm terribly aware of. Us being out here in the field, sometimes we don't get that inter-office, inter-company chatter. I would have to say that's probably not the case for the most part.
Yeah.
We have a great relationship with Ford. Obviously, they provide us with all the chassis that we need to have turnkey vehicles, as well as some of that partnership on our parts side. So I don't know that is, could be the case. I can see, that coming up, but I don't believe that's the case today. We just have a tremendous Ford partnership.
And I think that speaks volume about the business as well. I mean, you've told me many times that Roush, through the years, has done an extreme amount of engineering for Ford Motor Company. I think it's something that the business was built on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was a huge part of the engineering efforts back when Roush was before Roush Performance was even a brand.
Yep.
Roush was doing a considerable amount of engineering helping
Yeah,
Ford.
Roush started as Jack Roush Performance Engineering back in 1976.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of an interesting, everyone kind of knows us for Roush Performance and Roush Fenway Racing. Performance is kind of our consumer-oriented brand, But the rest of Roush Industries, is what we call it corporately, Industries, is essentially an engineering services company where we're designing, building, items for different different clients, which are not sold on the consumer market, right, for the
Right.
most part. So pretty interesting. We're, I think, over 5,000 employees worldwide now.
Wow.
So it's been pretty fun, for sure.
Hannah, any questions?
Well, I wanted to backtrack a little bit because I know, Steve, you were talking about how Roush has to go through a lot of rigorous regulations, and we tend to get a lot of questions on if we have any actual performance Mustangs on our lot. And I didn't know if you wanted to talk about the whole emissions versus dealer versus an actual OEM brand like Roush.
Yeah, so a turnkey Mustang, like you see behind us on a Stage 3, is literally, you can buy it off the lot. It's supercharged. It's ready to roll. We make it that easy for the dealer to be able to stock and retail that product. It carries a little bit of a different warranty than an aftermarket, just supercharger
Right.
add-on. But, it's all dependent on kind of what someone's actually looking for and their budget as well. If someone just literally wants a supercharger on a Mustang, you can obviously do that. You
Right.
guys know that here. Or if they want the full thing, the full throttle Stage 3, we can do that as well. And you guys, being a serialized vehicle dealer, you have them in stock. Last year when the Jackhammer came out, which was our essentially Stage 3 variant, if you will, we introduced a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty, first of its kind, and we're continuing that now to
Yeah.
19 on Stage 3 as well, which is huge. And of course, you've got warranty on the back end of that for up to 120,000 miles on the vehicle side, which is tremendous.
Yeah.
Aftermarket partner of ours that you guys will pretty soon here being able to offer that, and 100,000 miles on a dealer installed parts up to. So
Big deal.
pretty cool stuff.
It is a big deal.
Back to the manufactured side though too, we do have to go through all the testing as if the car was new. So that includes FMVSS testing, which is essentially looking at suspension and tire, how it handles. Does it handle as it should as an OEM vehicle, right? So there's just a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I think the general public doesn't understand what goes on one of those vehicles, as opposed to just adding a few bits and pieces here and there. And then on the vehicle side, or I should say the turnkey vehicle side, not to confuse anybody, is we are now listed in Black Book for valuations. And actually Jack Roush Jr. is one of his many hats he wears. He's actually looking into getting our brand into some other valuation tools as well. So, that goes into streamlining the chassis we offer, just so there's not so many variants of every vehicle. For example, on the truck end, the F-150 side, we only build, with the exception of Nightmare and Sport Truck, we only build 302A XLTs or 502A Lariats. And
Right.
it's to keep that complexity down, and it's to be able to have the evaluators who look at the vehicles, they don't have to do way too much homework.
Right.
But at the same time, I haven't looked, to be quite honest with you. I've heard we have tremendous values in Black Book on our vehicles.
Yeah,
so
from what
it's
I've
a
seen,
really good,
yeah.
really good thing for people that are out there that are, that do ask the question about resale value and things of that nature. I mean, there is an inherent resale value when you buy a turnkey vehicle.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. It's part of the benefit of it.
absolutely.
What we got, Hannah?
Our feed went down just a little bit for network. But
That's good.
haven't gotten too much questions, but maybe do you guys want to talk about the transition of like more truck-based stuff with Roush? I mean, these past couple of years, you guys have hit a lot on trucks versus.
Yeah, I mean, the truck market's exploded. We're currently right now we're about 4-to-1, 5-to-1 what we sell on the turnkey vehicle side, truck to Mustang. Quite frankly, my personal belief in that is just that you can drive a truck 12 months out of the year, especially up here where we get snow.
Right.
You can drive a truck 12 months a year. You can have more people sitting in it. It's just really that more of utilitarian approach that I see more than anything.
What was it 4 years ago?
What was it for?
Ratio.
I'm not sure. It was you could see the trajectory of the truck going up there. And there's a lot of factors that go into there. Ford puts a lot of incentives and rebates, which you can include on our vehicles on F-150.
Right.
It's the best-selling vehicle in America for 40 plus years now.
Yeah.
So there's always a lot of juice on trucks, which I think helps dealers be able to sell them faster. Mustang, not as much, typically. So we are seeing a big surplus of trucks and coming in. But at the same time, we offer a lot more truck packages than we do Mustang packages if you look at it from that. I mean, you've got everything from your entry-level sport truck, all the way up to Super Duty or a supercharged F-150, and then everything in between, Raptor, Nightmare, everything. So, but yeah, there's definitely a bigger focus on trucks as that market seems to want to just keep growing. It doesn't seem like there's too much of an end in sight for that. And
Sure.
Mustang market is still pretty strong, especially on the parts end of the business has been pretty strong for us. On the vehicle side, we're just continuing to push and get the word out there and get some more people some seat time in some vehicles. But the Mustang, everyone knows us for Mustang. That's kind of what we started out as.
Yeah.
The Mustang is everything to the Roush family. Jack Jr. They love to drive, and that's Junior helped develop the suspension that's currently on this vehicle that comes standard. So that's never going away from our end. Never will. That's what everyone loves to drive. But there's just seems to be a little bit of a more of a transition in a lot of ways to what we sell in numbers on the truck end. So
Gotcha.
Good question.
We have one question.
Okay.
Will the Phase 1 Supercharger owners be able to upgrade to the upcoming Phase 2 kit, or will they be substantially different?
That's a great question. To my knowledge, for the 18 plus Supercharger, you will be able to upgrade. Very similar to how it was from 15 to 17,
Did a lot of those.
where there was just a quick
Nothing.
4
Yeah, it was
hour,
quick.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like 4 hour.
Yeah, we did them. I think we did them in 4 hours or less.
Yeah.
It was the 15 through 17 Phase 1 to Phase 2 upgrade was plugs, pulley, booster pump, and calibration.
Correct.
Yeah, it was like $1,600
Out the
parts and
door.
labor,
Yeah,
out
that's
the
out the
door,
door.
done, put on. Really easy to do. You'd come in at 8, you'd be out by lunch, you'd have 50 more horsepower or 57 more horsepower was the previous generation. So I would
1600 was the previous generation.
yeah, 1600 was
Yeah.
it. So if you're looking for that roundabout figure of what
15 to
maybe
17.
maybe put that number in your mind as maybe a benchmark, and we may be above it or below it, somewhere around there.
Probably a fair statement. I mean, I don't know. I don't have pricing, but to answer the person's question, great question, by the way. To my knowledge, that is going to be happening. We will have the ability to jump up for the people who already have a Phase 1 or in the process of getting one.
And do we know, and I'm sure this question will come up, on the previous generation, 15 through 17, Phase 1 to Phase 2 was a stepping away from your Roush warranty coverage. Is that
Correct.
going to be the same this gen? Do you know of that yet, or is that
So
still on the table?
I don't
for talking
know
about?
100%. So I believe there will be warranty. I believe there will be warranty coverage on.
I mean,
Phase
that
2.
would be incredibly strong.
So
I would
I
think.
still think there's some issues that need to be worked out, but to my understanding, that's how it has been presented thus far.
That'd be outstanding.
Granted, we're not in a market, not to the market yet,
Sure.
but looks pretty promising. Obviously, I mean, we believe we have, very, very durable product
Right.
with an extreme amount of longevity. Like I said, I've been here for 8.5 years, and I see the warranty claims for my region, and we don't get hardly any power failures. And in the cases
Not
we
had
have, it's because, quite frankly, there have been a few bad apples that have modified their vehicle outside of warranty coverage anyhow.
Yeah.
That wouldn't apply.
Yeah.
And then they tried to kind of mask that, but of course, cars are run by computers now.
Sure.
You will get caught.
Yeah. For reference, if you modify it, so what Steve's talking about, so if you take any of our entry-level warranty-backed power systems, including the Roush Phase 1, and you modify said system in any manner, let's say you put a different cold air intake on it, which requires new calibration, you add headers to your car, new calibration, you've dropped pulley size, anything that's going to take away from the original parameters that we built this vehicle in with Roush, you're stepping outside of their ability to control, you're stepping away from their control system.
Correct.
Which is, I know this tune's going to do this to the car, I know what this pulley is going to do, I know this is going to make this much boost. Once you get rid of those things, Roush or any other manufacturer that does offer warranty, including Ford Motor Company, is not going to stand behind a product that's powered by somebody else's influence. And I think that's a blanket across all manufacturers, not just this brand. There are people who get sideways when we say that and say, well, why wouldn't you still back the product? Well, if you build a car and then I ripped everything that you did and put something new in it, but the shell is the same, it's not your car anymore.
Right.
So why are you going to stand behind it? That's the basic premise.
Yeah.
For Roush to say that there's a potential for their Phase 2 kit to also have warranty, that's a pretty outstanding statement. That means not only do they believe in their product, but they're willing to back it and put their money on the table, literally put their money on the table. And as far as warranty claims here on the Roush side, since I handle those for the store, I mean, a belt here and there will be frayed. We'll need a new belt. It'll be chirping, maybe. A pulley.
Get a graphic on a Stage 3 now.
A graphic might peel. We need to replace. A badge might be loose. We need to put a new one on there. I mean, just fit and finish stuff more than anything else. We've not had any Roush powertrain failures of any kind since we started, which is a great thing for us and for Roush, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
I've had very, very few Roush claims in the last 12 months, if not the last 24 months. And I think they were all badges and graphics.
Yeah.
One belt chirped. We
Which
replaced
is
the belt.
just so crazy because the way our dealers put in warranty claims through our system, it allows us to capture data to see if there's an epidemic of issues in the field. We have a customer success team that gets right on that.
Yeah.
That is allowed, gives feedback to engineers, when it comes to badges and things like that, placement of them, durability, things of that nature. Because, in the past, for example, the graphics that are on a Stage 3 are tested to the extent of the equivalent of being in the Arizona sun for a certain amount of time, as well as, the Minnesota cold. So we go through all those motions that a lot of people just really don't understand. They look at a vehicle and it's just, a bunch of parts on a car, which it's much, much more than that. And of course, there's some items on our vehicle packages that are not offered through our retail parts channel as well, obviously from a differentiation standpoint too.
Yeah.
Brian Pinto?
Yeah, Brian.
All right. I
How
know
are you,
that
buddy?
name.
Yeah. He messaged us a couple times, wanting to know how many jackhammers were made.
Oh man, Brian, you're gonna do that to me right here. I want to say it was
252. 250. 250. It was an
Did I
even
give
number.
you that number and I just forgot it myself?
You gave me that
could
number.
be
250.
250. Okay,
We had
that
number
sounds about
62.
right. I can definitely look that up and get back to you, Brian, because I know where you live and I have your number. But there was some conflict on that, and I think it's 250 around that in that neighborhood, but we'll confirm that. So Brian has a Orange Fury jackhammer with black graphics and black wheels.
That
Just
recall,
looks great.
man.
Yeah.
That recall. Strong.
He also asked, does the 18, I'm not sure which vehicle he's referring to, does it have the 5-year 60,000 miles?
I assume that he's probably talking about the jackhammer.
Jackhammer
which it did, yes.
Which the jackhammer was a post-title vehicle. We did not seek certification because of the short model year and the time it takes to get certification from the EPA as well as CARB, California Air Resources Board. So we included the 5-year 60 warranty even when the dealer installed the supercharger.
Which is a big, almost a gamble. But that's belief in your dealers.
It is.
Because there are Roush dealerships that sell 1 supercharger a year. There are Roush dealerships that sell 100 superchargers a year. So
and everything in between.
And they're warranting work from their dealers being done at the ground level. That's strong.
So 560 is on Mustang only at this point, all the way up from on Stage 3 in jackhammer supercharged cars, where that really all stemmed from. Absolutely.
Well, since we're about 40 minutes in, we'll finish with one last question. And Steve, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. But if you could choose any vehicle from the Ford platform, which one would you like to put some sort of Roush package on?
Go ahead,
I
go ahead,
have
Tim.
the answer for
Why
that
don't you
already.
jump in that.
No, easy. It'd be a 401A GT Premium Plus. Black on black on black on black on black.
Any more?
With the, I mean, and obviously I would go with the Roush.
Yeah,
401A automatic or stick?
Automatic.
automatic.
Side
Ooh.
note, Roush Performance commented saying it was 142 jackhammer.
See, I thought it was
Oh,
152.
I thought it was
I thought your number.
250.
I thought your number was a little.
I thought it was
bloated.
250.
Josh makes stuff up all the time.
You know what?
Josh drank too much water at lunch again when we had this conversation, and
Somewhere
He
there's
got
90
sideways on me.
jackhammers floating around that no one's
Everything
seen
gets
yet.
inflated.
So you're saying a 401A Mustang GT with a Roush blower.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be a little bit abstract. I'm projecting a future Ford model that
Oh,
Roush
you're
I
gonna
know
say what
is,
I'm gonna
I know
say?
is going to have a part of it. And I think Steve and I have the same answer
think
because I
you're
believe
right.
we've talked about it before. I'm looking forward to the I think it's going to be the 2023 Bronco, not the small one, the big one,
we don't have
not
same
not the
answer.
Escape platform, the F-150 platform Bronco,
The baby Bronco.
the large
No,
Bronco.
the
I
big
want the
boy.
full size Bronco, assuming they put a Coyote in it, which if they don't,
You can do that here anyway.
we'll figure out a way to put a Coyote in it with a Roush blower on top. It has to be pearl white,
Crate motor.
and the license plate simply has to be the juice.
Oh, nice. Little
And
OJ
that
reference.
would be a strong.
Probably going to make his Twitter.
That's
logo.
cool. Go Bills. I'm a huge Bills fan, so
Yeah,
that's fine with
that
me.
would be the
From a
strongest
football
vehicle that they could
standpoint.
put together, possibly. I mean, I'm a big Roush fan. Obviously, Mustang with Roush blowers are great, but a Bronco with a Roush Charger on it, that would be rowdy. I would buy that.
Wow,
I'd absolutely buy that.
That's a strong. I
That's a little
thought you
pretty-
and I were on.
What were you? What are you
not
gonna
on the
say?
same page. So I've driven everything we've had, everything.
Yeah.
I love all of our products, but I'm also looking a little bit into the future of the new Explorer ST.
Oh, that'd be a close second. 'cause
Doing
that's gonna be
some
rowdy.
doing a little upgrades to the turbos there, as well as some little bit more
Yes.
aesthetic touches that are going to make that a little bit more menacing look.
That's
I
gonna be a
think,
sinister
and of
vehicle.
course, I have 2 small children, so I'm looking for that
I like it. I
little
like
bit
that
of a
answer.
holler, and
Get
we've
him to school fast and on time.
yeah, exactly.
I love it.
But if I had to drive that as a daily, let's not
Yes,
miss.
wait,
let's not-
qualification, it has to be a daily driver.
Oh, well, yeah, the Bronco I'm still in because that's 4x4 vehicle.
So that's future. But if I'm talking today as a daily, and I live in Indiana, so remember we still get some crummy weather. I'm probably going to say a supercharged F-150.
Yeah, I like
Today's platform in oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. What's the color that they just balanced out?
Oh, you're talking about
No. Gray.
oh, you're talking about what, magnetic?
No.
No, Abyss.
Oh, Abyss.
Abyss gray.
Abyss. Oh,
Abyss
yeah.
gray. Sorry.
What
That
a
color.
quick
I
run
love
for
that
that color.
color.
Yeah,
Ford
1
already
year run.
balanced it out.
Gone.
So whatever's out there is out there. That's just a great
If,
color on that
if we were
vehicle.
thinking daily, like right now, I would probably drive a Super Duty, a Roush Super Duty. We have a ruby red one outside
They're awesome.
that is just like calling my name.
It's a big truck.
A big truck. You feel comfortable in it. It
It's
rides
very
really
comfortable.
well. The new Super Duty in general, this 17 plus Super Duty generation is just, to me, from the 16, though the 16 was also a great truck,
It's
a
night and
night and
day.
day different
Night and
truck.
day.
A great driving truck.
Just like
Great
from the
driving
150 from 14 to 15,
Oh,
night and day.
night and
Completely,
day truck.
the soft touch materials, everything in
Everything's
there.
just nice in there. A Lariat or above, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the Lariat Sport. Actually, I would be a Lariat Ultimate Edition guy because I need the quad beam LEDs. I'm in there. I'm in
you
there.
got to have those.
And
I
the power
think.
deployables.
They
Yeah.
look great. They
Neat.
look
We had
awesome.
Trevor Wright say,
T. Wright.
Expedition off-road, blacked out Roush charge.
Ah.
Oh yeah, Trevor's got a lot of kids. He's got a brood of kids to haul around. So, Trevor,
Trevor.
I could see Trevor in the Expedition just totally murdered out. You know, bringing the kids to their BMX races and all that stuff. That's awesome.
Trevor needs to chime in for a live stream. We need to go up to the
yeah,
shop.
Trevor.
We need to do
Trevor has got a great on-camera.
We need to do
personality.
a,
This is my first debut here with Hollywood Josh Hip. So you get Hollywood Josh Hip and Hollywood Trevor Wright together. I'm gonna be somewhere in the back
What a
drinking
powerhouse.
gas station
What a
coffee.
powerhouse.
So.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I think that's it. So,
All right. Well,
Good deal.
as always, a great time here in the LFP Garage. You know, it's nice to sit and kind of talk Roush and talk performance and introduce some new faces. I'd like to Tim is going to be in more often with us. We want to get some more faces of the team, get you comfortable with more of just, not just me, obviously, because we do have a phenomenal team, and that is truly the core of our business, is not the product that we're offering to people. It's the people that are in the building, from our salespeople to our technicians to even the people who are assigned behind the scenes that have nothing to do with the program, that just get the cars ready or greet you at the door when you come in. It's all about our team. That's why we've continued to be so successful.
And kept the same team.
And we've kept the same team. We've fostered the right people through the years, and now I think we have the strongest team that we've ever had. And then obviously thanks to Steve for coming in and talking Roush with us. And so if you want to, we're going to try to do this every month. So our next live stream will be sometime in July, after I get back from, after you get back from vacation, after I get back from, we'll call it leave. Baby
time.
Baby Ray's going to be here. All right, so you'll get a photo of her sometime in July when she's born. And then we'll do it again end of July. We'll do something new and talk some more stuff. And then our car shows, Cars and Coffee next month, third Saturday of the month. Car show is August 18th, third Sunday of August, which Roush Performance is going to be co-sponsoring us this year, which is a big thing, bringing down a large Roush trailer. We're going to have some merchandise, some giveaways, some Roush units to display, and Steve's going to be there as well.
Sure thing.
Talking shop with us then. So
Absolutely.
if you're in the area, the Cincinnati area, August 18th, you want to put it on your calendar. It's at Miami Valley Gaming, 12 to 4. Registration opens at 10. That has always been a great event.
It's phenomenal.
Fourth year there.
I've never seen a dealer show put on to the way you guys do it. The amount of attendance. I mean, it's just the location's phenomenal. First of all, because you're right off the highway.
Right.
You want to leave, go shopping. The outlet mall's right
across the street.
Restaurants, hotels. I mean, it's so accessible. It's almost hard not to go.
It just I mean, we've last year we registered I think 400 plus cars. We had about 600 to 700 in overall attendance.
Wow.
I think the number was somewhere around 3,000 spectators. This year, I think
it was a little overcast in the morning.
And it was a little overcast, so we had some people that were fearing some rain. So I think it's going to grow, assuming that we get the same weather in August that we do every August, which is just scorching heat. Hot. We'll have another great show this year, and that'll be great to have Roush sponsoring that with us. That'll be awesome. And then MVG is an amazing host as always. There'll be food trucks and a live DJ, free giveaways. Not only giveaways at MVG, but giveaways of merchandise from Lebanon and from Roush. And we'll all be there hanging out, talking shop, and then hopefully my car will be done by then. That would be nice. Maybe.
Steve, do you want to plug your social?
So I'm at Great Lakes Roush on Instagram and Facebook. So what I've tried to do with that account essentially is kind of promote the product regionally, as well as the dealers that fall into to my region, to give them a little bit of shout outs and some stuff that, some inventory that's out there, things like that, as well as just the Roush product in general. So if anyone has any questions for me, you can always, send me a message through any one of those channels as well. I believe my phone number is even on the Instagram one too. So, I work all the time. If you want to send a text, shoot a call, go ahead.
And then do you kind of, Josh, want to talk about our social and kind of what we do on each platform? So like Facebook for live updates, YouTube is more of our quality builds.
Yeah. So just like Hannah was just mentioning, so we use our different platforms to display different types of content, so that you're not seeing the same stuff on each platform, and it gives every viewership community chances to see different sides of us. Sure. A lot of our high quality informational stuff is going to be on YouTube, where we have big car reveals, large cinematic videos are shot, whether it be within our shop or out in the market. Instagram is mainly just, even though you can post videos and stuff, we mainly just do high-end photos or quick snippets of what's going on here at the dealership or in the shop. Like we recently did a photo shoot of a GT350 that we just did a set of Austin wheels on. We shoot Hannah does a lot of amazing shots of our other vehicles. And then Facebook is mainly just quick updates, videos that I'm doing highlighting stuff that's maybe on the rack, a quick delivery video, something like that. Delivery photos shaking hands with owners that have finally come and taken ownership of their vehicles. and then displaying new promotional material there as well, such as our Express Lane. We'll run that as a big promotion on Facebook. And then obviously live stream updates as well. So you can take your pick of the litter, whatever kind of stuff you like to see, or if you want to see it all, you can follow us in each one of those channels. And then all of this stuff is again highlighted on our website, LebanonFordPerformance.com, where you can see all of our specialty inventory, our Roush inventory, and get new information on what's coming and what's active promotion, stuff like that. So we have a lot of fun. We're going to continue to do this again next month, and we'll see you then. Thanks, guys.
Sounds good. Thanks.